Good afternoon. Welcome to Turnout Radio on CIUT 89.5 FM. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton, back to open up with you about the latest on the dance scene and the heart of what moves us. It is so good, as always, to be back with you. Thank you for joining us in this dance space. Well, today, folks, my guest describes that she likes her dance practice to be poetic and somewhat like moving sculptures. I'm so thrilled to have joining us on the show. Choreographer Lina Cruz is here, and I'll be sitting down with her for the full hour. So stay locked in right here on CIUT 89.5 FM. We're going to take a break and be right back with Lina Cruz. Welcome back to Turnout Radio on CIUT 89.5 FM. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton. Well, after 15 years as a dancer, followed by 15 years as an independent choreographer, Lina Cruz founded the company Fila 13 Productions in 2003. Its mission statement is to support the artistic vision of the choreographer and the creation and production of dance and/or music performances. Lina explores the integration of musicians on stage and of music, voice to movement. She thus creates the works of the company. It is my great pleasure to welcome to the show Lina Cruz.
Hello, Nicole. Very happy to be with you here for this interview. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. How is Lina doing? How are you doing this afternoon?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's really exciting. We'll talk about it later, but I'm going to be performing next week, and I haven't performed myself in quite some time. Founding the company in 2003, I was still dancing in the pieces that we were doing, and I went into doing duets, and then as soon as I did the first piece as a duet for the company, I felt I needed to be outside and to create and be able to see how to structure a piece, how to create it, and to discover also the shapes, precisely the moving sculptures with other bodies, and I think I had danced enough at that, by 2003, 2005. I mean, I had already performed many years, and so I was very excited about just being a choreographer from the outside. Occasionally, I danced, but yeah, for special projects, but less and less with time. And I kept a minimum of a training just because I like not only to to stay trained, but also to show the movement in rehearsals for the dancers, etc., etc. But I was not interested or missing at all being on the stage. And I don't know why last year I thought of contacting Older and Reckless and proposing a solo, thinking that probably it wouldn't work. And then finally, Alison Cummings, who is the director now of Older and Reckless, called me and she said, "Yeah, are you still interested? Let's do this." And so I started training like crazy. for it's been 5 months almost that I started training and rehearsing, and it's fascinating how the body learns again, how the body remembers but also learns again, how, in spite of the age, because I'm 67, I'm going to be 68, so there's that to consider too. But yeah, it's all there coming back. So I'm enjoying it. I don't know how much more I can do, but it has kind of reopened this door. And I'm thinking, what do I do after? Maybe I do another piece. I don't know. But I do like to create and be on the outside. That is something that I really, really like.
Well, the intersections of poetry and moving sculptures is of great interest to you. Where did that inspiration come from, and what has informed that part of your interest?
I think as far as the sculptures go, I think I'm a frustrated sculptor. And so for me, I am very moved by paintings, but even more by sculpture. The shape that is totally fixed, and yet it expresses so much, that everything that is contained in those shapes, that is so human and so organic, and yet it's in a fixed image. So I think that's something that I wanted to try to find in my work, and well, the dancers sometimes are really, really very, very patient with me, because I can go and say, look, this and this and this and this and this, it's like so I always, I realize I'm forcing them to be a sculpture that's moving, but the most interesting part of that is how you inhabit that shape, which is what's so fascinating about sculptures. I mean, there's nobody inside the sculpture, and yet it says so much, it communicates so much. Poetry, I wouldn't know how to explain poetry, why I don't usually use it. I mean, it's not like I use it in every piece, but it's somewhere there in the inspiration, but it's more also about the being poetic, that the dance is poetic, that it evokes something without being concrete or literal. I'm more into the abstract surrealist kind of vibe, but that it has to be evocative, and I think that's where it's somewhat like poetic. It's because I'd like the dance to be evocative.
Tell me more about the inhabiting of the sculpture.
Mm-hmm. Well, it starts by defining the shape with precision as much as possible. I think that is important. It's like having a costume that you get into. So first is really defining the shape, and when you define the shape, you know the little corners of it and how you get into it, and then it's inside. How do you create those lines? And that inevitably gives you a feeling, a sensation, and how to let that come through, whatever, what you're feeling about it. But also sometimes, of course, there is a certain direction that I give, but it's a very abstract character, but there is a character to those shapes. It's also like I hardly ever work in unison, so each dancer has one different shape, and they just go into that, and I think it really helps that the shape is clear and precise, and that's the way you can really fit into it, like into a glove, and then how you live inside and let it be seen without it being too expressionistic either, so that we can guess there's something in there, who is in there, kind of.
The interpretation of the shape will look different for every individual or artist that inhabits that shape.
Yes, yeah. Um, Different bodies, but size, etc. But I really believe in the possibility of just, for some people it might be easier to achieve one shape, for example. But the work, the repetition, in French rehearsals, we call them répétition. And it's really repetition. And it's fascinating how repetition slowly allows you to find that shape that maybe didn't seem possible because you're too tall or you're too short, or but it will be a little bit different for each person. But repetition really helps. It's like exactly like sculpting, like molding, and it's beautiful when there's different bodies of different sizes and different ways of moving and different flexibilities, etc. But that the shapes are there.
Yasmina Ramsey Arts has visited with Turnout Radio to offer our audience the following giveaway opportunity on today's show. 7 Gates, the immersive film produced by Yasmina Ramsey Arts, runs November 6th straight through to the 10th, 2024, with 38 screenings taking place at the Theatre Centre at 115 Queen Street West, Toronto, Ontario. Journey to the realm of seductive emotion, the fast-moving web of thoughts, and the mysterious subconscious during this immersive film. Be the first to email Turnout Radio at turnoutradio@ciut.fm for an opportunity to win 1 pair of tickets to attend on one of the screening dates. Place the word tickets in the subject line of your email. That's turnoutradio@ciut.fm. For more information and to access tickets to 7 Gates, visit theatrecenter.org. Lina, prior to today's interview, we had a discussion in which you had shared with me that you are constantly aware of being accepting of losing what can be valuable. What did you mean by that share?
It has to do exactly with the freedom and the security, because within the security, there is often very valuable opportunities. And I was mainly referring to work professionally, because there have been many instances where I have refused important, valuable opportunities because I thought, again, I'd rather be free. So it's been difficult because you wonder afterwards, oh boy, what if I had accepted that contract, or at least tried to stay longer. Sometimes I stay in a project and I could continue, but once the project is finished, I say, okay, thank you very much, bye bye. So I've always been it's been 52 years that I'm in the dance profession. I started professionally at 16 years old. So at the beginning, I was, eager to dance with different types of choreographers, and that was very exciting for me at a time where, for example, ballet and contemporary dance did not mix at all, and I wanted to be with both. So sometimes I had the opportunity, for example, to go further in the contemporary or further in the ballet world with contracts or opportunities, but I really wanted to be able to do both, and the the milieu, like the community of contemporary dance at the time, this is the 70s, 78, 1980, would see me like a strange person, like a strange artist, because I did ballet. And the ballet people would see me also like, oh, this is unclear, no good, no good. She does modern. And then I was doing karate also. So so that also is like they expected me to do one thing or the other, and to be able to pursue one opportunity, I would have had to fit into that mold, either for the modern or for the ballet, for example.
As you're sharing, I'm thinking about this fitting into the mold reality, because when I think about myself as a younger dancer, that was very often the goal,
Yeah,
to
of
fit
course.
within a certain mold of what others thought should be right for me. But
Yeah,
I'm very grateful that with the right leaders in my life, that I
yeah,
really started to push back against this reality of fitting into the mold.
yeah, exactly.
And a lot of interrogations came up for me. Allowing those interrogations to prevail did permit for freedom for me to
Mhm, of course.
escape from that realm, understanding that I don't have to, quote unquote, fit
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
into a specific way of being. And so, what did you discover about fitting into the mold and beyond?
Well, I discovered that I didn't fit. so, so, and that, but it was okay. I mean, it was difficult because I wanted to fit, but I wanted to fit in my way. So, and that doesn't work. So that's one of the choices I had to make. It's okay, do I go and do everything to fit, or do I just go my way? And then I ended up going my way. So, and it takes a lot of courage, as you know, and it's risky. It's very scary, terribly scary, because precisely you're not within a system that's holding you. So it's very risky. But you learn to trust and to work really hard, because you have to work really hard to it's in a way like the system that you're not totally accepting. You have to create for yourself a system, or some sort of entourage that sustains you, and at the same time interact with the systems around you, because you can't be isolated either. So I think that's what I learned, and that's where it comes also to remind me that I've always felt marginal in a way, because I always feel like I'm outside looking at, and I love being outside because I can see what's happening. I can see people, I can see groups and systems, and how this works and how that works and how they interact. And then sometimes I go in and I interact with that, and then step out also, because it's I can't stay in. If I stay in, then I have to change, right? So,
I'd like to explore that a little more. What do you mean when you say that your path has been marginal?
well, it's about being on the margin. I'm not like on the fence, like
Mhm.
doubting. The expression
Mm.
of being on. I'm not on the fence, like doubting or hesitating or not giving 100%. I give 100% to my work for sure. um, but on the margin, because I precisely because I'm constantly choosing how not to lose sight of a certain again, illusion of freedom, but it's a freedom to be able to preserve integrity. And the integrity for me is important, because it's like I want to learn something. I want to learn something. I don't know what it is, but I want to learn something, and I want to follow that instinct. So I have to take the risk of following that instinct, and I don't want to achieve anything major, or I don't want like to be the greatest dancer or the greatest choreographer. I hate that concept. I think it's a pity that we are so competitive, and that we have to be the best. It doesn't have to be the best. But what I find is important is individualism. What is it that you would do, and how would you do it? And whether it's good, bad. I mean, it's production of art, and it's participating in developing the faculty of art, which is it's a very important faculty of the human being. So it's just participating in your own way. I think that's very important if you want to. Like when I was a dancer, I did not. I was very happy just giving myself to be directed. For example, I love that role too. Just for the choreographer to tell me what they wanted, and for me just to try and do what they want me to do. But once you want to be a creative, it's very difficult to run away from your instinct of trying to find out what is it that I would do and how would I do it. I think you practice. Well, there's an objective first. I think if there's an objective, you see what you want to do, you practice, and you try to achieve that. But that's temporary,
Right.
It doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean it's excellent. It means that you tried something, you knew what you wanted, and you achieved it. And then you move on to something else, because things keep changing. I think excellence and perfectionism or perfection are quite close.
Lina, Older and Reckless Moonhorse Dance Theatre's series launches its 2024 live event coming up on Friday, November the 8th, which is going to be featuring 5 dance works created and performed by luminary dance artists. And this year's bill includes Tomato Blues, which is a dance piece that is created and performed by you. Tell us about the work and also about the concept and considerations that are explored in the work.
Well, it's a solo that originally it's 27 minutes, and I adapted it to 19 minutes now. Because for Older and Reckless, Alison, the director of Older and Reckless, wanted it to be maximum 18 minutes. Now she allowed me the extra minutes, so it's 19 minutes. And so in adapting it, I this happens very often when we reduce the time of a piece, is that you go to the essence of it, and so for me it's clearer now. It's a very playful piece, in a way, a bit different than most of the things I've done in the past. It's a little bit more theatrical, although there's a lot of dance in it too. And I sing also, and I say a text, and it's like a cartoonish piece with a political side to it, and it's described as a quirky character encounters a tomato, and together they embark on a liberating dialogue. So for me, the tomato represents something very beautiful, but at the same time can become the oppressor too. So the tomato can be oppressed, but if it's given a chance, it will become an oppressor too. So basically, that's the idea. So, and Older and Reckless is such a fantastic series. It was developed, created by Claudia Moore over 20 years ago. She has now left it to Alison Cummings, and it's really amazing. I was part of it twice in the past, and the first time I performed there, I think I was 46 years old or something like that, and it was a total discovery for me to be in a dressing room with people over 45 years old. I couldn't believe that it would be so different. Just the atmosphere was different, and it makes you see dance as a real art form. I mean, not that being young is not real art, but but it's good to be able to give this example even to the younger dancers, that their career doesn't necessarily have to end when they turn 40, for example. I think that's very important, and it's also very important for society to see because dance is always seen as something of the youth and this physical virtuosity, and that's young people can do that, and it's only young people who can do it. So for society to see that older people can be physical and can be playful or serious, but they can still be on stage and be performing and still be physical, I think it's important. It's important to give this image of older people. So it's really amazing what they've done, how they've come for over 22 years developing this, and the artists that are there every time, they're fascinating. But this time I'm so happy to be with all of them. You can go to moonhorsedance.com to see the list of artists and to buy the tickets to November 8th and 9th. There's 3 shows. You can see everything on the website at Harborfront Center Theatre.
Lina, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you today. Congratulations to you on all of your contributions and shares that you have been providing within the community. It's been so lovely sitting with you.
Thank you so much. It's been really great talking to you. Thank you.
My great pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Here.
Welcome back to Turnout Radio on CIUT 89.5 FM. That was Lina Cruz. Many thanks to Lina for sharing with me on today's broadcast. And folks, if you missed the top of the interview, we invite you to visit turnoutradio.com and also some of your favorite podcast platforms where the full interview will soon be streaming. Coming up this weekend, Tomato Blues, which is created and performed by Lina Cruz, will present at Moonhorse Dance Theatre's Older and Reckless. The acclaimed series launches its 2024 live event on Friday, November 8th, featuring 5 dance works created and performed by luminary dance artists. The works, curated by artistic director Alison Cummings, seek to redefine destructive assumptions about age and dance ability and celebrate artists over 45 who continuously take risks, ask pertinent questions, and dig deep into nuance. Older and Reckless runs November 8th and 9th at Harborfront Center Theatre in Toronto, Ontario. You can learn more and purchase tickets at moonhorsedance.com. This brings us to a close of our show. Thank you for tuning in and joining us for this hour. Join us again next week for more of Turnout Radio right here on CIUT 89.5 FM. I'm Nicole Inica Hamilton. I hope your week finds you turning out to dance.